We're asking Americans on the street today, how do they think Trump's doing so far? It's a free speech channel. You can say whatever you want.
I think Trump has sold out the American people. He's all about him and his family enriching. Corruption is, right in front of your face. So it's disgraceful and shameful. And at the end of the day, you have to get Congress back in the midterm, put a check on him. Bottom line.
Well, he'll be significantly worse, but not because he's deteriorated. I think everybody deteriorates over time. He's going to be 78 years old, so he's a little slower. He's a little lispier. He's a poor reader. He's always been a poor reader. It's probably lifelong learning disability. He has a hard time reading the prompter, so he makes a lot of mistakes that way. But that's not the issue for Trump. The issue for Trump is that he's now experienced. He's now been in the White House. He's lost the White House. But if he gets the job again, he'll be very, very dangerous in that job. And he's also got some very experienced campaign people with him now that believe in the expansion of unitary executive power.
I know the White House watches my stuff.
You have a platform.
There's a president that he knows that I'm never supported him and stuff like that. I try to give people a warning, and it's like, it is what it is. It's like people thought it was funny. People made fun of my accent. People made fun of my speech. People forgot this. People this and that. And it's like, y'all gonna see what's funny. Shit ain't funny right now, isn't it? Shit is really tough out here. It's really tough out here. Shit is really rough out here for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I try to warn y'all. Trump don't fuck with me, so it's like, what can I do to help y'all? I can't do nothing. My hands is in my ass, deep in it. America is in a very bad place.
You see complete moral collapse of the United States government. The cabinet meeting with 3.5 hours of superficial praise is so cringeworthy. He's attacking the Fed. He's attacking all of our institutions. He's eliminating FEMA. It is horrifying that he is putting troops against American citizens because he claims that he's the law and order president. But we all know that's a lie because he's a convicted felon. He pardons convicted felons. He surrounds himself with obsequious people that kiss his ass all day, every day. It's nauseating and painful to see how weak he is to Vladimir Putin and others. He wants to cook the books. He wants to control everything. This isn't a limited government guy. This is not a law and order guy. This is a guy who has redecorated the Oval a la Marie Antoinette style and is building himself a ballroom because he has zero intention of leaving. And the more Americans realize this, the more prepared we can be. He wants to control the Fed. And what happens when autocrats do this? Inflation spikes. All of our fiscal conservative friends, the economy will tank.
Georgia, I support this movement 150%. Yeah. It's time to say no to kings. It's time to say no to Donald Trump. We've had enough. No King Trump. No unnecessary wars that rob our resources, sacrifice our brave servicemen and women, and slaughter innocents. No corrupt leader enriching himself and the Epstein class buddies. No taking away health care from our most vulnerable neighbors. No unaffordable groceries. No unaffordable energy. No unaffordable housing. And no inflation at its highest level since COVID. No government masked thugs shooting down our neighbors in the streets. Trump has to be stopped.
It's a reasonable theory that Donald Trump is not unlike the spouse of someone who leaves him perhaps for another, who then murders their former partner because if they can't have her, nobody can. And I think Donald Trump in his solipsism may have that relationship with the world, and that this destruction is in part a power play and also a literal intention of his final out.
You think he'll try to stay on?
I think he might try to destroy the world before he ages out of life.
Jim, in the history of dictators or those who aspire to be dictators, there's never a succession plan, right? There's never, and that's what worries me is if he doesn't believe there's somebody who can protect him, that you will see him ratchet up, what he's willing to do to the country to protect himself.
And that's the scary part. It has to be neutralized by the people who say, wait a minute, our rights are being trampled on. We have to stand up, period. And the main thing I'm concerned about is at the polls, that they feel safe enough to go there without being feeling threatened or repercussions.
You're always about lifting up everybody around you,
Yeah,
everybody.
of course.
Why is that?
You have to. You have to lift people up.
Why?
You have to bring them together. Period. You can't divide people. You can't win that way.
It's a no-win situation. And look what we have. Look who we have there. It's almost like a destiny to have this thing there, attempting to destroy this country, and maybe not even understanding why. So it's up to us to protect the country
That we love.
Yes.
We talked about how this is the moment. This is the moment that it goes one way or the other.
That's right.
You think it's going the other way?
I don't know. All I know is people have to resist. There's no easy way. It's not going to come to you easy. You know, there's a time when you know in your own life, in your own survival, you better do this. You better jump and run through the fire. Because if you don't run through the fire, you're not getting out. And that's what we have to do.
I've said it before and I'll say it as many times as it needs saying, okay? Trump voters are either highly, highly uneducated or fundamentally bad people. Either they don't understand the issues and they're voting on something they don't understand, or they do understand the issues and they understand that by voting for Trump, they will harm people and they do it anyway, making them a bad person. Or there's a third category, which is that you are willfully ignoring every piece of data that contradicts your viewpoint, making you a fucking idiot, right? And I had hoped that during the first Trump presidency, that when people's lives got worse, they would become educated by the fact that their lives had become worse under Trump. The problem is he didn't actually get that much done in his first presidency, right? A lot of it was struck down by the courts. A lot of it was at very targeted groups who weren't voting for him anyway, right? A lot of it got overturned the second Biden took office. So what I'm fearful for, and what gives me a bit of hope, is I'm fearful that Trump's second term will be much more effective. That he will have the courts on his side, that he will have a plan that he didn't have the first time, that he expected to win this time. He didn't expect to win the first time, right? That things are actually going to get demonstrably worse for the majority of people. But what I can hope from that is that white dudes' lives will start getting worse and they'll start understanding that Trump wasn't such a good fucking idea. That maybe they'll wake the fuck up. That maybe that's my one shred of hope. It's tragic, right? I wish people's lives wouldn't get worse, but I can hope that as people's lives get worse under Trump, they will wake the fuck up. That's all I can hope for. Because tariffs will make life harder on everyone universally, right? It's not just going to be like, oh, the Muslims are having a bad time, but I don't give a shit because I'm a piece of shit, right? It's like going to be like, oh no, everything is more expensive for me as a white guy. And then maybe they'll blame Trump, which they should, but like maybe they'll actually do that for once. And I just hope that's my one thing I'm holding on to is like maybe their lives will get worse and they'll wake the fuck up. I don't know.
One of the most insane things I've ever witnessed in my entire life, insane and sad and just ignorant, is to see white Christians embracing and even cheering the cruelty of Trump, particularly separating families and disappearing folks into this torture prison in El Salvador. And I say white Christians because I don't know any black Christians who are cheering right now. And maybe, just maybe, it's because, black families were systematically separated by white Christians during slavery. Maybe it's because black individuals were tortured by white Christians during Jim Crow. And all Trump had to do was to replace black with Hispanic, and here we are, on board again with the same old song.
You have a complete and utter lying buffoon. I mean, I'm going to tell you the truth. He's a fraud. He lies. He cheats people. Everything that comes out of his mouth virtually is a lie. And he's a con man. And if you look at what he's done with his career and how he's tricked people into things, it's abhorrent. I never liked George W. Bush. his policies, but I didn't hate the guy. I hate this man. I've never hated a politician. I can't not hate somebody who bilks innocent people out of money, life savings. And we've seen it. With that Trump University, he took people's money, $35,000, wiped these people out, and is being sued for it. He steals money from charities. I'm not making this stuff up.
Donald Trump's not the problem. MAGA's not the problem. ICE isn't even the problem. They're all symptoms. I mean, ICE is a imminent problem. They're an invading force in multiple cities and states, and they are literally a weaponized version of the Klan that is state-sponsored and has endless amount of money for some reason. But even if all three of those went away today, we would still have the problem. And the problem is this. White people who look like you and me, we've allowed white supremacy to flourish in this country for generations and generations and generations, so long that people don't even recognize it, myself included sometimes, right? I had a moment just last weekend, or just earlier this week in New Orleans, where I was speaking with a guy on a trolley who grew up there. And he's like, well, you're from the South, right? I grew up in North Carolina. That is the South. You might want to fight me on that. It's not the deep South. He said, you know why everyone's so polite here? And I was like, I don't. And he was like, well, we had to be. It was like everyone had to be polite to each other, especially black people to white people, because if we didn't address them properly, we would get killed. I make U.S. history content, and I didn't even think about that. I grew up in the South, and I didn't even think about that. That's how normalized every day white supremacy is in our country. And if the white people in this country don't decide that they're going to extricate the cancer that is white supremacy from themselves, from their homes, from their communities, from everything that they are surrounded with, we will be right back in this position 5 years from now, 10 years from now, however long it takes for the cycle to regenerate, because it will happen. Trump's not the problem. MAGA's not the problem. ICE isn't the problem. It's white supremacy. It's been white supremacy. It will be white supremacy. It's always been that. And if we don't work towards it to fix it now, then when? Oh, and by the way, if you're a white person watching this, guarantee you, when we get rid of white supremacy and the systemic white supremacy that kills people every day, every single one of us will be healthier. We'll all be wealthier. We'll have better access to food. We could even have walkable cities. We could have walkable cities, but that's white supremacy in action, right? The way we've designed our cities is white supremacy in action. So just think about where you want this country to be in 5 or 10 years. Think about how loud you want to be. You will lose people. That's okay. We'll have each other. Let's go for it.
If you voted for Trump because you thought he was Mr. No New Wars, you're the reason why I think we should pass a citizenship test in order to vote. You should at least be able to pass a civics test and an American history test to vote in this country, because the stupidity has reached an all-time high. The American experiment is failing right before our eyes. We have a PDF file who is maniacal, who is sundowning, who is posting overnight, controlling this country, and no one is stopping him. No one. He has no guardrails. He adheres to no laws. He's openly admitted this, only his own morality. And we all know, given our history on this planet, maniacal dictators always stop because of their morality. That's what stopped all dictators in the past, was their morality. And it always ended well for the citizens of those dictatorships, right? Yeah, because that's where we're at. That's where we're at.
The president has gone too far. Everybody needs to wake up. The occupant of the Oval Office is ignorant to the Constitution and has no regard for the rule of law. Trying to silence me, in proposing to court-martial me, in threatening to kill me for fighting back when our democracy demands that we must fight back. President Trump has crossed the line. And this time, it's not going to work. I will not be intimidated by this president. I am not going to be silenced by this president or the people around him, because I've given too much in service to this country to back down to this guy. In 1991, when Donald Trump was driving the Taj Mahal casino into bankruptcy, I was getting shot at over Iraq and Kuwait. In 2001, after Donald Trump said that the collapse of the Twin Towers meant he now owned the tallest skyscraper in Manhattan, I was carrying flags honoring 9/11 victims into space on a rocket ship. In 2003, when Donald Trump was writing birthday greetings to the monster Jeffrey Epstein, I was the first on the scene to recover the bodies of my fellow astronauts who died when Space Shuttle Columbia exploded during re-entry. In 2011, when Trump was hosting a reality show and peddling conspiracy theories against President Barack Obama, I was sitting next to my wife's hospital bed as she recovered from a gunshot wound to the head. My point is this: I've been through a lot worse in service to my country. The president and Pete Hegseth are not going to silence me. They aren't going to keep me from speaking out, and they're not going to keep me from doing my job.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fraha. If you're watching me for the first time, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for making time for this, and I really appreciate you for watching the video this far. Now guys, if you have not subscribed to my channel, if you're new to the channel, if you're new here, thank you so much for stopping by, and I am kindly requesting that you subscribe to my channel, be part of this amazing family, be part of the journey, be part of the story, and I'll really be grateful for that. Now guys, if you are a returning subscriber, you have been here for some couple of days now. If you have been here since the beginning, thank you so much for being there, for trusting the process, trusting the journey. Thank you so much guys. I don't take that for granted. Thank you for the warm and the support that you have given me, overwhelming support guys. I don't take that for granted, because I know that you did not have to, but you chose to do it anyway. So thank you so much. Now guys, on today's video we're talking about white people and the MAGA people that have become a little bit like disillusioned about the things that are happening to America. Now we're talking about the situation and life being very hard for Americans. Now when we're talking about situations and hardships in America, financial hardships, medical hardships, and stuff like that, we're talking about all Americans now. People have been affected in very many ways, and when we're talking about people, we're basically talking about every American. Now, they have been affected because of the decision that they made, the decision to vote in President Trump. Now, many people in the comment section don't like when we talk about President Trump being the cause of all these things happening, but what I need you to understand is that the presidency position is not a joke. It's not somewhere you want to place anyone anyhow, carelessly. That is a position that you need to really be thoughtful about. You need to be careful while electing someone to that position, because the reason why I'm saying that is because the presidency is really the country. Yeah, the person that is sitting on that chair is really the person that determines the kind of life you live today, tomorrow, and all the years that they will be in power. Yeah. Now, why is that important? Because they make decisions. And unlike you that makes decisions for your family and friends, the president makes decisions for everyone. He makes decisions for himself. He makes decisions for his family. He makes decisions for his friends. And most importantly, he makes decisions for the whole country. Now, for example, President Trump makes decisions for the whole of America. New York, Washington, California, Tennessee, he does make decisions for all those people, regardless of where you are in America. One decision he makes affects you directly. It could affect other people indirectly, but for the most people, it will affect you directly as a citizen. Any decision he makes will ultimately tamper with the things that you're doing, your life, your standards, your belief system. It will tamper with everything, approximately everything. Now, that's why you need to pay attention to who you're electing. The kind of person that you're giving that much power should be worthy of that. They should have good track records to show you that they are capable of making a decision for a whole country. They should have like enough history to convince you that they can handle power, because handling power is another thing. People, when confronted with that much power, they tend to become different. Yeah, they're not the same person that you knew before, and them being altered by that kind of power, it could affect you in the positive, it could affect you in the negative, mostly in the negative. Now, you trust your whole power, you give this person all the powers in the world, and you know too well that this person does not deserve it. This candidate is not, he's not it, yeah? And you know too well, it's not something that you're like guessing and second guessing, yeah? You know too well that this one is not a perfect person for this kind of position. But you go ahead and vote him in and expect different results. Now, they always say that you can only be a fool if you're doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results, because that is not how it happens. If you want better results, you do things differently. Now, you voting for President Trump on the basis of skin color, on the basis of him being your own, is what has brought all this chaos to America. The kind of life that Americans are living right now is not admirable. It's not. And I know there are people that have their own ways of making monies, and there are people that are enjoying life, especially the ones that are close to power and they're close to the money. Yeah. But for most Americans that do not have people that can give them, shoddy deals to make lots and lots of money, for the average citizen, this is a menace. This is the worst thing that has happened to them. When you're talking about Black people, we're not even, we don't even need to go into the discussion of that, because you definitely know, you and I know, that this has to be worse. Because even the times when things were better for America, the Black people were still on the receiving end of bad stuff because they are Black, yeah? So doesn't matter who is in power, they will always be receiving the least, yeah? Now you can only imagine when a racist is elected into power. The lives of Black people have been affected in ways that are unbelievable, yeah? But the reason why Black people are not talking about it, they're not complaining, they're not saying anything, is the fact that these people have been in that system for way too long, yeah? They have undergone a lot of things under the white people, under the white man's leadership, that sometimes they feel there's no need to complain anymore. And especially because the only time that they could do something was during the elections and before the elections. And they did that. They do not have anything to regret. They spoke about it loudly. They advised people. They talked to white people, tried to explain why he was a bad fit, why he was not the best candidate for them and for America. Yeah. But white people did not listen to them, because for them it was really about them having their own, and also the fact that they knew that he's a racist, and the fact that he was going to undermine Black people and to harass Black people and protect white people. That was all that they were looking at. Now, when he got into power and he's not delivering what he promised, he's not delivering what they expected, he's not caring about anyone. They expected this would be happening to Black people, that we would be making these videos and it's all Black people talking and crying and talking about how life is hard in America and how they feel like regretting the decisions people made, stuff like that. They expected that to be on Black people. But look at the videos we're making now. It's white people most of the time complaining about these things. They're even complaining about why black people are quiet. Black people are not quiet because they're not feeling the pinch. They're definitely feeling the pinch even more. But they do understand that this was your own making. They talked to you, they advised you. They helped you understand why you should not have a convicted felon as the president. But you people decided to not listen to that. You decided that you're going to do that anyway. You're going to punish black people. Now the punishment is here and you're uncomfortable about it because it's affecting you. That's also the other point. White people are just selfish. It's not that they are complaining now because they feel the impact, the pinch, you know. It's because they are not used to suffering. And it's really about them. It's not about black people. Yeah. Black people are just a by the way. But the real thing is that they are going through things they did not expect, they were not ready for, they feel they were not cut out for. And for that reason, they are making it look like they're complaining for themselves and for black people. They're not. Their selfishness was shown during the elections. And now, whatever they are doing, black people are well aware that it's not for them, that it's just a selfish act of, you know, wanting to recruit black people to help them in this cry. Black people promised that they are not going to do it and they will not do it. Now that is uncomfortable to them because they're not used to getting a no from anywhere. Now guys, please subscribe to my channel. Keep safe from wherever you're watching me from. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, share it, leave a comment. Super thanks, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.